Alrighty, folks. Hello and welcome to Talladega Superspeedway. My name is John Theodore, streaming live at twitch.tv/John_A_Theodore, recorded version of this broadcast at youtube.com/John Theodore. I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. Going to be in the number 16, Corey Busch for Congress, 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. This is the NASCAR iRacing Winter Series. It's similar to the NASCAR iRacing series that runs during the normal year, but we're using the 1987 cars. 94 laps. Should be a lot of fun. No restrictor plates at Talladega. These things are always fun to watch. But yeah, we'll probably also be talking a lot about the very controversial finish to the F1 season that happened, since that's on everyone's mind who follows motorsports at all. Briefly, my thoughts on that are, first and foremost, hats off to Max on running a great season. Most folks know that I tend to cheer for Lewis. I like Lewis a lot, but I first and foremost, when it comes to F1 and all racing, I root for good racing, and we had a lot of good close racing between those two drivers this year. Max is absolutely a deserving champion. I don't think that he was the best driver, or that he was the best in today's race. I thought Lewis had him pretty clearly on pace, and I'm not happy with how the race was administered by race control. So, but such is the way with life sometimes, unfortunately. I think that, looking at things objectively, that Mercedes actually has a legitimate case to say that the final lap should be thrown out and that the race should be reverted to the penultimate lap, because F1 violated its rule book to do the restart in the way that they did it. But I also, in saying that I think that Mercedes have a case, I also want to make it clear that I don't think they're going to win. I don't think that they're actually going to overturn the result that happened on track in a courtroom. So, it's just one of those seasons where you actually have two guys who both deserved to be champion, but you can only crown one. And, with the way that the circumstances played out, Mercedes were put in a really tough situation where they had to make a call based on whether or not what the likelihood they thought that the race would go green was, and knowing that Red Bull was likely to do the opposite of what they were going to do. And it turned out that Mercedes actually got that. This is the thing that feels so wrong about it, is that Mercedes actually got the call right. There was, when the safety car came out, there was not enough time for cleanup to happen, and then Formula One to follow its own rule book and do a restart by letting all of the lap down cars go through, which is what the rule book says. Either none of the lap down cars can overtake and get a lap back, or all of them can do it. It doesn't say they can choose to send only the cars between P1 and P2 so that they can get a one-lap shootout with first and second restarting nose to tail. So the thing is that Mercedes actually, they actually made the right call and were punished for it, because F1 violated the way that their own rule book is written. So that's a real shame. That feels wrong. As a racing fan, I'm disappointed more than anything, even more than I am disappointed that Lewis didn't win as a Lewis fan.
Picker guys, look over there to your right. At the
you want to see it decided fairly.
That's when you guys will be allowed to jump over the wall.
And I don't think it was. So,
but
yeah, so that's my thoughts. I know people have different opinions on it, but that's the way that I see it. That's the way that I read the rule book. Good luck, everybody. Let's do the pledge here while we're sitting on grid. I pledge to be a good sport whether I win or lose, to know that people online are real people and my words have real impact, to set a positive example with my behavior, to speak up against discrimination, hate speech, harassment, and abuse, to show integrity by honoring the rules, my opponents and my teammates, to stop listening and reassess if I'm told that my words or actions are harmful, and to respect others even if their sincere opinions are different from my own. !GLHF, my Twitch channel chat, link in the description below this video if you'd like to take the pledge yourself, be part of making online racing a better, more pleasant place for everyone. Not pitting at the first VRC was a mistake. I disagree. It clearly wasn't. Not pitting at the first virtual safety car meant that Hamilton was going to win the race by about 10 seconds. That actually was the better strategy, and he could have been in real trouble if Max had stayed out on that one. Now, probably not. Max doesn't seem to be as good at saving tires as Lewis is, but Lewis had a net gain in time over Max by staying out on the old tire. So not pitting under the first virtual safety car was actually the correct call. Not pitting under the safety car turned out to be the incorrect call, but only because F1 didn't follow its own rule book. And that's what makes it such a big problem for me, is that teams having to consider whether or not F1's going to follow the rules when they're trying to make strategic decisions. That's really putting teams into an unfair box. Mr. Perez, where did that come from? Sergio's a great driver. I feel like it's a little bit of a disservice, like the amount of surprise that people are having at seeing Sergio Perez race really well. He's really talented. He's an extremely skilled and experienced driver. That's why he ended up getting the job at Red Bull. I thought it was a great piece of driving. I just wasn't as surprised to see him demonstrate that kind of skill as everyone else was, I guess. When you're that much faster, I think you can't. So the thing is that under the virtual safety car, they weren't able to cover him off. After Max had pitted, if they had gone in and pitted, Lewis would have been behind Max, which would have been a problem. They would have had to that was the problem, is that Lewis's lead always meant that Mercedes were the ones that had to make the first decision. So because of the way that F1 cautions work, it massively disadvantages the lead car, which is why I think F1 maybe needs to reevaluate the way that they handle pitting under safety. Maybe I think they need to consider closing the pits the way that NASCAR does under safety cars and just not allow pitting under a safety car, something like that.
Cars off. Have a great day.
It really adds an element of chaos into the race that messes with things. And I know that Lewis, I think that there were times when Lewis benefited from it too, so it favored one driver in this race, but it's not like it only favored one driver all season. So, the rules are the same for everyone.
Still inside. Still there.
It was just very odd how it played out today. Missed a shift there going from third to fourth. That cost me a lot of speed. We got some fast guys in this field that I haven't raced with in a little while since I haven't been doing NIS. So yeah, that was not the start that I wanted. But we're in the lead pack, which is...
Hey, Austin, you do realize it's top one, right?
Mostly all that matters right now. Going to be a two-stopper, it looks like. I think they need to take a hard look at the rule book, and think they need to fire Michael Massey because he's demonstrated that he can't manage race control. But it's been embarrassing, and it's gotten worse with each successive race this year. It feels like too. He's been terrible, and he's gotten worse as the year has gone on. He's just not. I don't wish him ill as a person. I just don't want him in that job anymore because he's not good at it. Yeah, I hope the new cars work out too. I am a little bit worried, admittedly, because going to a simpler aerodynamic profile that took things out of the hands of the drivers did not work for NASCAR and has not worked for other forms of motorsports, so I am worried that, I don't know, I'm a little concerned that this new car might not work for Formula One, but I'm hoping that it does.
Still out there. Still out there.
Pete Petronik, how you doing? Yeah, Kev Shift, I see,
Outside.
I don't know how decisions get made at that level.
Quarter outside.
So, yeah, I don't know who ultimately makes that call within Formula One, or what the politics are involved what politics are involved is with this side. You know, I don't even know how he got the job in the first place. I will say, it's a very, very tough job because you're going to be under scrutiny and under the microscope all the time, no matter what.
Outside, in and out, one inside, caution.
Why do you block me?
Bud, give me stand under car there. Pit road is.
Well, that was interesting.
They could be lining up behind at 11.
We're going to stay out here. He was V8 Supercar race director and considered to be pretty good. Interesting. I guess that makes some sense, because, yeah, our V8 Supercars managed by FIA. Dude, Emmett, how you doing? Yeah, definitely. Glad that we got missed by the worst, hold the folks who were affected in the light. It's awful what happened over that Amazon warehouse. They really need to, it'd be hard to add one retroactively, but they need a basement at facilities like that. That
behind at 11.
Imola GP was a pretty ugly race. I forget what happened at Imola. There were so many messy situations this year, including Max winning a race that didn't have a single green flag lapped. Now, granted, it was only half points, but Spa was ridiculous.
All right, buddy. Line up behind at 17.
Only real set place at the where our work is. Yeah, that's, you can't fit all the employees in the bathroom, obviously. If you build a warehouse, if you have any place of employment in the Midwest or in any place where tornadoes are common, it should be a requirement, a regulation, a government regulation, as it were. This is why we have building codes, that the building is constructed with an adequate shelter so that employees can take shelter in the event of extreme weather. This isn't that hard of a concept to understand. That's the proper role that government should play in society. Amazon should be held accountable and liable for I think that there were 2 workers killed, if I heard correctly. I haven't looked into it deeply, so if I'm getting the facts wrong on this, but like, Amazon should be held liable for that. Yeah, I know. I need to do a just chatting stream or something like that so that we can, I don't know. There's only so much time in the day. I might, you know, as we approach the new year, I'm considering spinning up some stuff like that for the new year. Is it 6 now? I had heard 2. Like I said, I haven't checked, and I don't know how many were injured on top of that. If you have 2 or 6 dead, that means that there are more than that injured, I'm sure. Here's the thing, is that, you know, I'm not saying that capitalism is completely doesn't work. It obviously, you know, it's preferable to me the system that predates it, that it followed. But the thing is that under capitalism, business owners are under a lot of pressure to cut costs wherever possible. And in our system in particular, when you're dealing with publicly traded companies, they have a fiduciary responsibility to their investors to maximize profits, which means that if there's not a regulation in place, they're actually kind of required to cut corners. It's a flaw in the system, and it's made worse when you don't actually have adequate regulations. That's why those regulations is you need to draw the boundaries in such a way that makes sense, and you know, it's the corporation's job to worry about its profits. It's government's job to worry about and making sure that all of its citizens are being treated fairly. Now, a good company and a good business owner should also be treating its employees fairly, absolutely. But, you know, we see a lot of examples where that just doesn't factor into their thinking and doesn't override the profit motive. G. Benson with the Tier 1 sub, 42 months. Thank you so much, man. Let's get some hype in chat. Straight Tail. Today's F race was nuts, disappointing in all kinds of ways. Oh, one thing. We were talking about the differences between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. So part of the reason Mercedes has an advantage with engines is that they, you know, being an automaker, they have their own engine program. Red Bull has to buy its engines from somewhere else, so the one area that they can work on and really affect things and control their own destiny is in the aero department, which is where Red Bull has always excelled, and they really hit on the formula. So it was an interesting dynamic this year where Red Bull was the stronger car on high downforce aero circuits, and Mercedes was the stronger car on high-speed circuits where the engine mattered. Honda did a great job turning it around. They're getting much better. Red Bull's far more competitive than they were when they were getting engines from Renault, but obviously that Honda engine, there's no engine on the grid that can stack up to that Mercedes engine right now. And that's been the case in the entire hybrid era. Wow, I was asleep on that restart because I was talking about engines in Formula One instead of focusing on what I needed to do there. We are just getting freight trained.
Stay with him. 2 inside. Hold your line. 1 inside. Clear. Good job. Inside. Still inside.
So we're just going to drop to the back of this train and then we'll try to work our way back up through. aerodynamics are for people who can't build it. I mean, I don't know. I think Mercedes is wishing that they had focused a little bit more on their aero program this year, because if they had better aerodynamics paired with that engine, then, you know, Lewis would have perhaps won that championship going away this year. So, you know, it's obvious that you need both.
Inside.
And I don't think Mercedes ignored their aero program at all. That they were obviously,
Inside.
you know,
There's the car spinning.
Still inside.
really pushing,
Work, boss man. You know what
you know,
they
things
do.
in certain areas, which is where they, you know, came up against the regulations with their rear wing at one point.
Inside, you're gonna have to call
You know, both teams were looking for any advantage that they could get at all times.
We're four.
It was a great season. It's just unfortunate that it was marred by such a
Still there.
controversial and really, you know, ugly way for it to end.
Still inside.
I don't know if it ending this way is better or worse than the scenario that we were maybe more worried about heading into the weekend
Sorry, Colin.
of, you know,
Everything's fine.
Max. You know, if they were to both just wreck, then Max would win on the tiebreaker if neither of them got points. I guess this is
Still outside.
better in some ways because you still feel good about both drivers, but worse because it really does feel like race control
Outside.
exerted undue influence on the way that the race played out, and that's unfortunate. Is Antonio going to Formula E? I mean, there are only 20 seats in Formula One, and there are a lot of drivers waiting to get their shot who deserve it. So,
Outside.
you know, you always hate it for a guy who gets their shot and it doesn't pan out, but, you know, I haven't seen anything out of Antonio Giovinazzi that
Inside.
tells me that he
Still there. Door. Two
deserves
inside.
to have an F1 seat more than, you know, this year's F2 champion,
Clear all around.
for, you know, just to throw out an example.
That's cool. Didn't want to talk to you, Noah.
I didn't really say anything from Alpha, but I also didn't really,
Clear outside. Still outside.
you know, like, George Russell's driving for Williams, and he had some special moments this year.
Still out there.
You know, they're
Yeah.
those lower, you know, look what Tsunoda did getting fourth in AlphaTauri today. You know, so just because you're not in a great car, and I mean, AlphaTauri is a lot faster than an Alfa Romeo, but, you know, I'm just saying, like, good drivers who will, in those lesser cars, do get opportunities to demonstrate why they deserve to be in a better ride. That's how Sergio Perez got the ride at Red Bull. He demonstrated in, what was he running in the you know, he was running what, Force Indias and stuff like that, and you know, he's pieced together a good F1 career and showed that he deserved a shot in top tier equipment. He's gotten it. He's done well with it this year. Racing, right? It was Force, right? Racing Point was what Force India turned into. Yeah, the pink Mercedes cars, exactly. They're Aston Martin now, but yeah.
Caution. You want something to drink?
Goodness me.
Yes.
Yeah, the racing up in that front pack is pretty nuts. I'm okay hanging back from it a little bit here.
Hold the brakes, Marcus. Jeez. I'm upside down.
This is some quality racing.
Isn't it? We're going to do 2 here.
I did, my Marcus.
Gene Haas backs out of racing. I don't know what happens to SHR. I don't think Tony has Gene Haas money, I can tell you that.
All right, looks like you're going to be lining up behind the 19.
Brakes! The brakes!
I hope he doesn't back out of racing entirely. I don't think he will. Just feel really still with racing. I think the off-season's coming at a good time. In a couple months, we'll all be missing it and really ready to you know, see it come back again. The off-season's it's not bad to have an off-season. You'd burn out if you didn't have an off-season ever. Only have 3 sets. Kind of just want to not take tires and just fuel up right here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
Maybe that's a mistake. My right front's at 91. We're fine.
Go, 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 go. Hard, 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 hard.
Yeah, I mean the costs of running an F1 team versus a NASCAR team are massively different. So Gene Haas could back out of F1 and still be able to easily afford operations with a NASCAR team, especially with the ways that NASCAR is looking to reduce costs for teams going forward. Rich Energy isn't coming back because Rich Energy never existed in the first place. The whole reason why that sponsorship deal fell through is that they failed to actually pay Haas the money that they had promised in the first place. Yeah, like that Rich Energy deal really did cripple that team because they went and spent a bunch of money on R&D and then didn't actually pay their sponsorship bills. Yep. Kind of am looking forward to the Rich Energy book when that comes out. That's going to be interesting. Wait. Straight Tail, did you just find that out now, or are you talking about something that happened in the past? I hope that's not true. It's not good. Same year you found me. Hey, you know, Rich Energy, me being entertaining. I'm glad that was a good year for you, Yummy, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Time to go.
Alright, looks like we're going to be restarting in 7th here. Applied at McDonald's down the street just in case. 10-4, man. I want good things for all you who... I want good things for everyone, but particularly for you folks who tune in and watch my stuff. And are, you know, positive members of this community that we're building here. Have I tried the W12? I have not. $400 a week. Jeez, yeah. I mean, don't get me started on income inequality and the problems that that creates in society. I'm not going to go that far, Daryl. Living in a cardboard box, especially, this time of year, I would go back and work at Sonic again over that, for sure. All right, so we're restarting in 7th here. Gonna have to be up on it a little bit better. "28 years was it, I hear that. I did not work nearly as much of that, and I'm not interested in going back to it. And I love cooking, and I love people serving food, but doing it as your job kind of strips away all of the things that make that enjoyable for me, by adding a whole lot of stress to the environment.
What are you doing?
Green flag. Really good lap right there. Really good. I don't know what you did, but keep doing that.
Much better restart that time.
I just didn't want to get caught with the back up, Chandler.
How to ruin an enjoyable hobby. Do it as a business. Ain't that the truth? I want my channel to, be bigger and stuff like that, but when I was streaming a whole lot more often, it really did start to ruin the fun. I absolutely hit burnout, and I had to take time off of iRacing just because it got to a point where it stopped being fun for me because I was doing it so much, so often with no break. It really did start feeling like work, and it did ruin the fun of the hobby for me.
Still there.
Since I've come back after that break, it's been over a year now, almost 2. I've taken the approach of just having fun and making it a hobby, and I've been actually racing and competing better as well. So,
Clear low, inside.
Take that for what it's worth.
Still there. Still inside. Too wide inside.
Hudson, for the love of God, just stop. This lap
Clear
one
low
wants
if
to
you
stop.
need it. Inside. Inside
You don't need
only.
to push me going through the trioval.
Clear. Inside.
See, that kind of stuff is why I'm just not real keen on getting involved in mixing it up right now.
Still inside.
Tyler D. Hudson's got the same idea. He's just dropping back here with me. These things can get loose when you've got someone right up under your bumper. And we've seen that front pack, with the way that they're racing, they're turning each other up there. So I didn't necessarily want to do a ride in the back strategy, but right now,
Yeah, man.
given that I got shuffled out of line, I'm not going to force the issue. Dropping to the back seemed like it made the most sense. It's just that was the spot that I got put in. Also, by not changing tires, I didn't really feel like I had the grip to run right in front of someone. And there we go, that right in front of me there.
Run me over in the middle of the corner.
That's the kind of stuff that I don't want to be a part of right now.
You should take your own advice. You still mad about that?
Austin, you got DQ'd in the last race I was doing with you. How'd you do that? Explain to me.
Again, let's get single file here and pull away.
That's not going to happen. I might actually want to back out of here because they're just going to wreck again. So
Outside, outside.
I don't like riding in the back, but
Clear outside, outside.
when it's looking like that up there,
Outside quarter, clear high.
I just want to make sure that I don't get caught up in it.
Still outside.
You can fix these cars.
Outside if you
It's
want.
not a fast repair, and then I don't have the, you know, we haven't had the big one yet. That's the thing. We've had a couple of single car deals, and everyone's been able to drive around them. We haven't had that big one that takes out 10 cars. Oh, that was a good run. This race is actually going by fairly quickly. We're already 25 laps in here. We still got a lot of race left to go, but, you know, as much as I was talking about it being a longer race, it's not that long. We are in one stop range, though. It looks like, based on current fuel consumption. Now, I've been really riding it easy by lifting a bit as I ride in the back, but that could come into play.
Outside. Still there. Clear.
I feel like I've lost the thread. I got focused on racing, and Chad has gone off into a side discussion about streamer health that I am I'm lost. I will say though that eating better and better diet has improved my mental health over the last couple weeks. I've been feeling a lot better since I started doing that. So, you know, testament to self-care for sure.
Outside. Still outside. Still there. Clear, clear, clear.
So now that we're singled out a little bit, might start trying to work my way back through the pack some.
Outside, outside. Still outside. Still out there. Clear.
Does look like there is a high likelihood of a wreck up front up there, but you know, while I have the opportunity to do so,
Still outside.
I would like to get some positions.
God, awesome.
Clear.
Thank you for directing me, man. I was on a while, man.
Just keep that momentum going forward.
Still there at your door inside.
We've had a few laps here as well, so the tires have evened out. The fact that I didn't take tires on that last stop no longer matters.
So, y'all need a reminder, we still have a full NASCAR Legends race to go, and then after that we still got another T6 to go. Y'all don't need to lead this lap
Keep your foot in it.
Outside.
I want to go bust.
I mean, David's not
Still
wrong.
outside. You're clear him.
There's a lot of time left. David's saying that, and if you notice up there in front of me is that maroon and silver car. He is the first car that's single file. He's side by side now, but he's kind of approaching it a little bit more aggressively than I am, but it's still with the same kind of mindset where he is,
Outside.
you know, not just going up there and racing every lap like it's the last one. He's being methodical about how he plans his moves.
Still out there.
Which obviously, by the way, I'm approaching this race, I think that's the right strategy. He also runs with us a lot in the NASCAR Legends series, so
Clear high.
yeah, maybe he's just, oh boy, got a bit more of an appreciation and sense for the pacing of how these things.
There he goes.
Yeah, Tyler hooked me on purpose.
Eventually, if everybody is running up against you, crashing into you, it might be the other way around.
Yeah, he never explained how he got DQ'd the other day if it's everybody else's fault.
Hey, how about you don't hot merge on an active racetrack?
I have been DQ'd before in races where I never touched anyone with the front of my car. It was all hits to the back, so not at Talladega, but that's happened at Martinsville.
Nah, you were pretty unpredictable on my screen. I don't know if you were lagging or something, but
Come on.
you literally
Still there.
left me and you fucking turned right.
Still
Nah,
outside.
dog, I think I'm gonna put that one on you, bud.
And a bunch of pansies.
Clear.
Yeah, you drive like a moron.
They are not mincing their words on this one, man. We got some, like, legit bad blood between these people. They do not like each other.
I kind of ran over because everybody checked up. Yeah, to be fair, that was my fault. I just didn't sure what to do. I mean, I do it for fun of me.
See, this is what, oh boy. Wrecking.
In front of you on the high side. Stay to the bottom. Stay to the bottom. Caution. All right, bud, why don't you give me a status on your car there?
Okay, really?
Looks like you should be lining up behind this 15.
Did you get hit or are you fine? Because that would be sexy if you didn't get hit.
You'd be behind
Everything's
24.
fine. Everybody stay calm.
All right,
That was amazing that wasn't bigger.
I was wondering when you're gonna finally spin.
Well, I'm trying to wear this right rear out because I don't like plowing here, but we just about busted our ass there.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to have to come around to 21. Coming around it, 11. They could be lining up behind the 23.
I didn't
Open,
say that,
open.
John. I promise I was going to activate you.
All right, I think 2 tires here might be the call.
Get behind the 15.
Actually, you know what? Since we're still just kind of riding, I'm just going to take 4. Track position doesn't seem to be that important right now. Right, how you doing? This puts everyone within one stop at the end of the race, too.
Start looking for your
You're
sign.
doing great there, driver.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
Someone just
Go, man,
slid
go.
through a bunch of stalls
go, go.
there.
Good job, Andrew. Go, go. Hard, hard, hard.
All right, so we got 2 sets of tires left, but we only need 1 more pit stop here.
Looks like you'll be lining up behind the 22.
All right.
You're going to be lining up behind the 22.
So where we're going to be at? Restart will be at the completion of lap 38. That puts us at 56 laps to go, so still a lot of race left. Halfway is at what, 47, I think? So in 10 laps from now.
A
37
1 to
complete
go.
right now, 57 to go. Phew. And we're in 20th. Not a bad start to the race. Our car's still clean. A lot of other folks' cars are still clean too. Unless there was a hard hit behind me, which I think I would have heard some squawking on the radio. The only driver that it looked like it was only one driver spinning there. You should be able to repair that and just, be just fine. We've got still most of the field on the lead lap here. We have 3 cars off the lead lap. Benjamin Frisch is only 1 lap down, so as we get cautions, he should be able to get any repairs done that he needs and get back on the lead lap as well. We're working our 3rd caution period here. That's Chandler Parsons running that Benny Parsons 72 car. Good deal. Makes sense.
Remember not to change lanes before the start-finish line. All right, boss man. Pace car's off. Be ready.
They're checking up.
flag. Inside. You're clear. Outside. Still outside. Outside clear.
Not looking to fight with Tyler right now. When I see guys that are just willing to be more aggressive at a point in the race than I want to be, just let them go, especially in a race like this. They don't always wreck, but I tend to have a better likelihood of keeping the car in one piece than they do.
Working the outside. Still out there.
And
Clear.
actually lifting in the corners at Talladega, that's just a thing of beauty. I understand why we need restrictor plates at these tracks, or why they use them. I'm just saying that
outside quarter.
we have lost something
Still there.
with the addition of them. There's a form of racing that
Still there.
we could have at these tracks without them, and it's a shame that we're not able to have it.
Outside.
It's awesome that we have it in iRacing, since we can't do it in real life.
Quarter. In and out. One car inside. Clear inside. Outside, outside.
Looks like Austin Hill is okay.
Still out there.
And he just spun around and lost track position.
Still outside. Clear.
The incident points probably hurt him more than anything else at the, you know, as far as what is left for the rest of his race. But he was able to get any damage fixed, and he's doing fine.
Still there, outside.
No need for me to be pushing this right now. There's a gap
Clear,
back to the
clear,
next
clear.
pack. I can just let this all happen for a second. Take advantage of the fact that there's no one around me, so
Middle three.
if something happens, we at least have options to avoid it. It's not a guarantee that we'll be able to avoid it. We can always get caught up in a wreck. It just increases the odds again.
Clear outside.
Risk management.
It's going to be a bit one big rush.
Confirm you were blinking.
Brian, you're going to netcode somebody, and they're probably going to be pissed.
Yeah, you're like warping forward and backward.
I ain't gonna wreck you.
Probably shouldn't have lifted through the travel. It cost me a little bit of momentum. It's Blake McCandless right behind me. He does some announcing for us over at Podium Esports.
Inside.
Good streamer, good
Still
racer.
inside. Still there, clear, clear. Outside. Still outside.
Yeah, let's not make it 3.
Still
2's
outside.
fine.
Still outside.
Sorry, Chandler.
Clear high.
Oh, that's all right. You just scared me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to bounce up that high. The thing got a little bit light, and I figured you'd be able to hold it.
14, you're lagging bad.
Nice. Smooth up.
I didn't mean to run you out of room there, though.
You're fine.
Hey, 14, you know, it would help if you plugged in your Ethernet cable. Dude, he's gonna junk somebody.
Very rich coming from me, bud.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, leave me alone.
Does Dylan need to respond to every single thing that Austin says? Thing is that it's hard for everyone else to race when he's blinking like that, and he should know that. Brian's raced on this service for long enough, you know, like he should know how difficult it is to race around someone who has a bad connection. It's unfortunate. It doesn't seem like, you know, there's often not much you can do about it once you're in the race, but it is kind of messing things up for everyone around him. Look at how organized and single file everyone's gotten all of a sudden, though.
Everybody's doing a good job. Long ways to go, fellas. Long ways. Nice and smooth.
Just getting things set up for the last pit stop in case we end up doing one. You know, in case we end up pitting under green, I want to just have it already set where it is, so we've got a little bit of time. 2 tires, 11 gallons of fuel. Whoa, there goes Garrett Manes, I think.
My bad.
I was worried about how he was going to re-enter. Garrett, I know that wasn't what you wanted to do, but that was an impressive save to get it back on the track, not wreck, and not get a speeding penalty there, man.
I appreciate it, man. I was trying not to, like, come up into traffic. I didn't know where everybody was, so I just kept it on the apron.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we saw you coming up, so we all kind of lifted so that we were prepared for it. Oh, I'm wrecking.
No, you're an idiot, by the way. Just putting that out there.
Hold your position.
Huh?
I know, man.
I mean, you throw a block and then you go down in there and self-spin. I got loose because you
Screws
got
up, guys.
loose.
There's some screws laying right there. Get those screws up right in front of Tony. Pit road is
How
closed.
does that work?
Man, yeah, I'm going to pit here. It's possible with another caution we might be able to make it from here, so I'm going to go ahead and pit. All these wrecks have been one-car wrecks. It's amazing.
Pit road is open.
Everyone's doing a real good job when someone gets out of shape of, you know, avoiding them for the most part. And I'll also add, like, there are a lot of folks that I'm seeing up there who are getting out of shape and saving the car and not just fully wrecking it in front of the field and taking out a bunch of folks. 5.5K strength of field and living up to the standard so far. Where am I in the winter INIS standings? Not very high. I got 11th last week at Charlotte, and I haven't run a Talladega yet, so... I wanted another crack at Charlotte. I just didn't work out with my schedule for the rest of the weekend.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
This is only race 2, though, so, you know, we go out and hang a win tonight, we'll be looking pretty good in the standings. Because there'll be a lot of points available here.
Just a heads up, you know that you only have one set of right side tires remaining. We got a bit of a stickler here in the pits, guys.
I probably should not have actually used them there. We just need a splash of fuel here. I'm going to put it at 4 just in case. Yeah, we won't take tires if we do that. Plan's probably actually to just not take tires again. Right front was at 88 there, so it's actually good that I got that changed.
Coming around at 27. We're going to restart behind the 1.
Looks like we might be in the top 10. Right on, man. Basement will be 99.99% finished and bringing a Tempest arcade game with 12 total games in it. Nice. Very cool. So yeah, we're not there on fuel right now, but we're close. Another caution, we'd definitely be there, I think. So
one to go.
We'll ride around and save what we can.
I could be on the outside this time.
I think we're just a couple laps short right now. But with a little bit of saving in the draft, might be able to make it work.
I think we should be behind at 1.
All right. So with this restart, there will be 41 laps to go. And it looks like we'll have 38 laps of fuel left. Save 3 laps would have to be some pretty aggressive savings. It's worth a shot. We'll see how this goes. I'm sure we're going to get more cautions, though. I don't see this going green the whole way. Not with the way that it's been going.
Give those belts a good tug too, bud. Get ready to go. Pace car's off, be ready. Green flag. Good job, man. Focus on that next one. Doing a great job.
All right.
Outside. Still there.
Ooh, boy.
Still there. Still there. You're clear.
Yeah, come on down. It's fine.
Just concentrate. You're doing great.
Big move out of Manes there. He's working on getting right back to the front.
Outside.
Here comes Collin Bowden on the outside.
Quarter outside. Still there. All clear. Outside. In and out. Still nothing open. One outside. On your clear. Clear. Outside. Still there. Still there. Still there at your door. Still out there. Still there at your door.
That terrified me because he warped forward as I was coming down.
All right.
Still out there.
Completing lap 56 here.
Clear high.
Oh, wrecking.
Working the top. One car inside. Caution,
It's
caution.
only about time the Christmas tree wrecked us.
Did you happen to get a look at your temp clear on track right after
Man,
that
he
caution
was
stop?
wheeling that thing.
Pit road is closed. Should be starting behind the 22.
Michael, I understand why you're upset on the block, but if I didn't defend that and I left that open, we were wrecking. Because that was so late in the corner, the other guy had already committed to turn in. So, I mean, I understand, but that was self-preservation.
All right.
You go, Garrett. You go. I considered it blessing counting because you better count them because they're
Pit
not
road
going to
is
run out.
open. Adjust your brakes if needed.
Oh shit, bummy. I mean, yeah, that was self-preservation, but I could have probably cleaned you out and the rest of the field had I not lifted, so. Hey man, I wish I could sound as tough as you do.
Wow, it's almost as if this kind of racing requires some give and
I'm
take.
just saying it sounded like it was going to be a lose-lose situation, so in good faith, I made the move I thought you would back out. It's a good thing you did, because we were wrecking either way, so. Because I knew the other person wasn't going to back out, he proved that in turn one. So, yeah, count my blessings, I ain't got many, but I didn't have many choices either.
You tell them.
Yeah, I'm going to come down here and just top off.
Start looking for your sign. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're going to hold on to that last set of right
Stop on
side
the side.
tires, though.
Go back, go. Go back, go. That was a nice stop, guys. Good pit stop, boys. Lined up. Lined up.
That just makes it leave no doubt territory. It's a little bit of track position that we would get there by staying out isn't worth having to be in a situation where you're pedaling it to make it. Now I know I can make it. I can just race. Don't need any more fuel for the rest of it. Only reason we come down to pit now is for tires or to fix damage. Garrett's gotten a lot better, actually. He used to be real wild and just run over people when he was younger, but he's developed into just, into a really solid racer. It's cool to watch some of the kids on this program, develop. They come on and, they race like kids, and then they learn, and they get, some of them learn to get better, some don't. But it's cool to watch the ones that do develop. 13 weeks before Daytona 500. Yep. I may be going this year. We'll see. Hey, fair enough, man. Whatever floats your boat.
One to go. Bud looks like you're going to be lining up on the outside.
How do you mean, Stray Tail? I think I missed the venting. I haven't seen you say anything tonight that's even approaching being close to out of line. You're all good, man. We're here for you. Family. Oh, gotcha. Hey, no worries, man. No, if you're going through stuff, this is a safe place to share what's going on in your life. Well, I'm not Cadell. And I like Cadell. Cadell's a good dude, but we run different channels, and there's no judgment on... I always say that, it's like I do a different thing here. That's because that's what I want to do. It's not because I think that people who do it different from I do are doing it wrong. I'm just doing it the way that I want to do it. So, yeah, no worries, man. You're fine. You're all good here. We do a thing in Quaker Meeting at the end of Meeting for Worship where everyone can stand up and share joys, sorrows, and concerns. So you sharing your, you sharing your sorrows and concerns conveys to me that, that there's a certain level of, trust built up there that you feel comfortably and vulnerable here. So I'm glad that I've created an environment where you feel comfortable being vulnerable. You're always welcome here, man.
Green. That's right. Let's get another one.
That restart was something.
The only thing you're going to get banned for on my channel is being
I thought we were Formula 1 for a
toxic to other people or myself. And when it's being toxic to me, it's only if I feel like I didn't deserve it. If I deserved it, you know, did something dumb and I'm getting called out for it, then, you know, it's fair. Yeah, Cadell, like I said, Cadell's a good dude. I like him. I got a lot of respect for the guy. This is not easy to do, the whole streaming thing. Some of us make it look real easy, but, you know, there's pressure that goes along with it, too. And that the bigger your channel gets, the more pressure you're under. The more of a microscope you're under. Oh, they fishtailing. Who's that? Is that Mike Christopher big time out of shape there? Yeah, of course it is. He always runs the schemes where you can't see the number on the door.
Outside. Still outside. Clear. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically that's in violation of their terms of service, maybe, but I don't know. Thing is, like, if it's only a 12-hour ban, though, that's a little cool-off period. Outside. You know, they didn't, like, ban you for life or anything like that, so... Yeah, they probably could have let that one side at the same time. A 12-hour timeout really isn't that big of a deal.
Clear high. Outside, outside.
I do agree, though, with the general concept that these social media platforms have, again, tying back to our earlier conversation, they have focused so much on growth, they have not put nearly enough thought into how they are going to effectively moderate the forum that's at the size that they grow to, because essentially all these social media companies is their public forums. They're just like any other forum or message board. They are much bigger and they're for profit, but it's this, you know, it's the same as, you know, if you have a forum or you know, iRacing has their forums. iRacing is assumes the responsibility and has an obligation to their members to moderate those forums according to the terms of service that they've outlined for the forum. Twitter and Facebook have the same obligation to their users to moderate their forum according to the terms of service. But rather than, you know, trying to grow in a sensible manner and make sure that they keep pace with their growth and make sure that they can moderate it effectively. Instead, they focus solely on growth and have not been able to keep up with their moderation duties as they have grown. Oh boy. Yep.
No hole. One inside. Still with you inside.
All right, I got to focus again.
Two inside.
We're sliding around a little bit and getting taken advantage of a little bit.
Clear.
And we've given up all of our track position. Whoa.
Too wide inside. No hole. One car inside.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Still there at your door. Clear. Inside.
No, that was my fault. I got taken through at the last second to Ministry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I could have been closer to the wall there. We're good.
Still inside. Still inside.
This windshield is getting really dirty. I haven't taken I haven't cleaned it the last 2 times I've been to pit road.
Still inside. Still there.
It's only slightly distracting, though.
Clear.
Most of the time when I'm focusing on the cars, you're looking through the dirt, so it doesn't really bother me too much, but it's when you give yourself a breather that you notice all the gunk on your windshield. Then you can't unsee it for a little bit. Plus, I've got that one, like, big spot right in the middle of it that's right in the center of my vision. That is a little bit distracting. But I can still see. We're all good. I can see what I need to see.
Outside. Still outside. Clear, 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 clear.
A lot of race left. Oh, they're wrecking. That's Austin again.
Outside. In and out.
What a save.
Inside only. Clear low.
It just
Inside.
snapped.
Still there at door.
Yeah, that was really good save there. I thought you were overcorrecting. I thought it was dead.
My bad, my bad.
I mean, to his credit, Austin raced his way up to the lead. So, you know, he's been on the mic a lot. He's clearly got a lot of people who don't like him, but you can't argue with, you know, that he's been able to race his way up there.
Inside. Clear low.
And that was a good save, and he's still right there in the top 10. He's 4th on the inside line right now.
Outside, outside. Still outside.
Oh boy.
Clear.
And now he's off the track again. I do feel like he must be doing something wrong because he is the common denominator in all these wrecks. He's getting turned off of other people's front ends an awful lot. So
Backwards coming to pit road.
he must be doing something that other folks who aren't getting turned as frequently aren't doing. Unless these guys really are choosing to pick on him for some reason. Wait, you don't know what a furry is, Daryl? Yeah. Like into. Yep. There are all kinds of people into all kinds of different things, and you know what? That's all right. We all got our quirks and kinks.
Door outside.
Some might,
Still outside.
you know, some might seem a little bit more unusual to you than others, but you know,
Clear, clear outside.
that's just your perspective.
Outside.
Oh goodness, they're wrecking.
Clear. Outside. Stay at the bottom, stay at the bottom. In and out. Caution, caution, caution.
We have had to miss
All
some
on you,
wrecks
man.
today.
It's all on you. You make the call here.
Hey, Jonathan,
Pit road closed.
there was a wreck
You're
there.
going to be lining up behind the gate.
Yep, I was on the brakes.
So here's what we're going to do, actually, is I'm not going to take any more fuel, but I am going to come in, get 4 tires, and change the windshield. I feel like this is a good time to do it.
You're going to line up behind the gate.
Get that extra grip.
Sorry, Ryan, I had my rear tires lifted off the ground. My people who don't know how to check up.
All good.
Hey, Tyler, I think I might have come down on you there, trying to avoid that. Sorry if I did. Your right side looks pretty good, though. Not too much damage, just a little scrape.
Back paces. Yeah, that's the thing is like, yeah, I haven't necessarily been all the way in the back pacing, but I haven't been pushing the issue. Just been sort of taking what's available as this race goes through. But yeah, let's go get 4 tires, and that's going to be the last time we change them for this race. And we'll try to do some racing from there. What a fursuit is, I can guess. I actually am not familiar with the term fursuit, but yeah, it's basically like a sports mascot outfit, right?
Start looking for your sign.
Or like a full, like, I guess it'd be like a sleeper suit
5,
that looks
4,
like an animal.
3, 2,
and has
1.
Probably some convenient openings in it. Fully vaccinated? Yeah, that makes sense. You're in a, you know, given we're in a pandemic, if you're going to have a convention, it makes sense to require that everyone be vaccinated.
Go. Drive smart. There are no more right side tyres to put on. Gonna line up behind the 22.
Spec APA? It's possible. It's also possible that he just enjoyed the costume and thought it was fun to wear it around school. You know, thinking it's fun to wear a mascot outfit or dress up sometimes is not the same as being a furry, but, you know, that also doesn't mean that he wasn't one. Yeah. Anyway. $4,000. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but that makes, you know, like, if that's your thing, though, you know, I've spent about $5,000 probably all told at this point, you know, including the cost of the computer on my sim racing setup, probably more than that, actually. So, you know, if it's your hobby, if it's your thing, if it's the thing that you're into, and you get a lot of use out of it, then that cost for, you know, doesn't seem all that insane. Yeah, right. And for a niche boutique custom, you know, bespoke custom made item like that, yeah, it's gonna be, I'm not surprised that they're pricey.
1 to go. We are going to start on the outside here.
I do not want to go back to the 80s. Well, again, every time's special for its own reasons. Time we're in now, you know, it is special and will be nostalgic. Probably won't be nostalgic for the pandemic, but will be nostalgic for certain, you know, things that we, you know, take for granted in this day and age. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's really true. Like, a lot of the things that, you know, are coming out about, you know, people's different identities and sexual identities and gender identities and things like that, they've actually always existed within the human condition. It's just that we finally, thankfully, live in an era where you know, people feel comfortable enough to openly share their true self with others. And unfortunately, there are people out there who make them feel like they're wrong or that there's something wrong, or, you know, and judge them for that. And that was what forced a lot of people to be in the closet in the past. But, you know, like, I am super thankful that, you know, whenever anyone shares, you know, something in confidence with me, or shares a vulnerable moment with me, I take that as a great compliment that they feel comfortable enough with me to be vulnerable like that. I don't understand people who take the opposite approach and use that as an opportunity to put someone down or make them feel bad for being different.
Green flag. Outside, outside. Still outside. Still outside.
Yeah, they weren't going in front of me, so Will just ran in the back of me.
Still out there. Outside is clear.
They sent a furry to space yesterday on Blue Origin?
We can fully, yes.
Right on.
Inside. Still inside. Still inside.
Do I have a view on Blue Origin or Jeff Bezos? I wish that that money was being spent on improving things here on Earth rather than sending extremely rich, wealthy people into space. I'm not opposed to space travel. I think that there is a that the human species has a survival interest in furthering space technology as a means of survival, because if you run the timeline out long enough, you know, even if we do figure things out and don't destroy this planet on our own, it is inevitable that at some point our sun is, you know, gonna just burn out of energy. So if we want, there's gonna be a point where our survival as a species requires us to go interstellar, as it were. Now, that said, do I think that that there's any actual meaningful contribution to that being made by a bunch of billionaires who are doing what human beings were already capable of doing 60 and 70 years ago? No, I don't. You know, like, NASA's working on going to Mars and went to the moon like 70 years ago.
Dude,
I don't see any point in, you know, these billionaires spending, you know, portions of their fortunes on these, you know, glamour projects, but yeah, so that's my take on it. I think that they should be taxed more heavily, and I think that it shows that they're not being taxed enough, really, at the end of the day, that they're able to do that. We have more pressing issues that need to be solved here on Earth, chief among them addressing the wealth inequality that allows them to go to space while some people are literally homeless or don't have enough to eat. So we got shuffled back here, and Kyle decided to block, so we're just in a situation where we're pushing him right now. Which is fine. We just want to be running in a single file line right now anyway and trying to catch that next pack. It's a shame that we got shuffled on that restart. The whole point of getting new tires was to have that extra grip off the jump, and it hasn't worked out for us. We are running out of laps now, and we're not in a great position, track position-wise. And everyone's actually finally strung out.
Inside, clear low.
I think I'm going to shuffle him. He's just not the right guy to be leading right now.
Good pushing.
Nice job, second.
Give him one more chance here. That was a pretty good corner.
Somebody have a compliment for Pussy.
Why did Forza win Racing Game of the Year again? Wasn't it the only game that came out? I feel like there wasn't another racing game that came out this year. And Horizon 5 is really good. Like, it's really good. It just is.
Yeah.
Inside, clear low. Caution, caution.
Hey, there's a yellow.
Caution.
Watch out.
Trying to talk me through what's going on again. Closed.
Hey, you know we had a second lead on the rest of the pack and all that racing decided to do, let them catch up.
Get behind the 19.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
There was a Hot Wheels game.
Get behind the 28.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's your answer.
Yeah, we just needed 5 more laps of single file.
Forza Horizon 5 was better than all of those other ones, and so that's why it won. Forza Horizon 5 is really good. Like, the Horizon games in general have been good, but with Horizon 5, they've just, like, they've refined it, and it's just what Forza Horizon is trying to be. They've hit it just perfect. It's so much fun.
Nice forward. We got about 10 laps. Pit road will be open.
Ms. Pac-Man is underrated. Halo Infinite's also really good, by the way. I didn't stream again because didn't seem to be particularly riveting content, and I kind of want to just chill and play. But it's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it. Horizon 5's great. I need to finish up a few more challenges for this week's season before it rolls over to the next one to make sure that I get both cars unlocked. Alright, we're going to get a few spots here.
Get behind the 24. You're going to be coming around the 11.
Where's he going?
Line up behind the 24. 11. Get the lucky dog.
Ah, that's where he's
Coming
going.
to the outside lap car.
He's just taking his lucky dog early. Hey, David Brown's up there leading. No surprise there. I enjoyed the Game Awards. I haven't actually watched it much before this year, but I enjoyed it. There were some really good reveals there, which I think was honestly more interesting. If there was one criticism that I have of the Game Awards show, it's that it was so much less about the rewards and so much more about new game announcements and new game trailers. So, yeah, I feel like... I'm trying to think, what was it? It was the Game Show Network, when that used to be a thing. There was I feel like they had a better awards show that did it better. But, like, I really didn't like the where they did some of the awards where it was like, hey, here's this category that we clearly don't care about because all we're going to do is show a list of games, here are the games nominated, and this is the winner, and then go to the next one. Like, I didn't like that. G4 TV, right. I think it, yeah, G4 TV, not Game Show Network, G4 TV. I didn't like that. You know, it's like, treat the independent game of the year with as much respect as the other awards. Give those, the whole idea is to, you know, shine a light on those. So, you know, show the games, show some gameplay of them, tell us what those games are about. Have it be a celebration of what's come out. I'm fine with putting in, you know, new games and things that are coming in anticipated. I understand why that they do that, because it gets a lot of people, you know, to tune in. But honestly, like, the awards, there are so much stuff that's about previews and game announcements. The awards show should be about celebrating the year that we've had. It should be like, it's the one time to celebrate the year that we've had, whereas everything else is about looking forward. What do I think about Forza Horizon 5 having an on-screen sign language interpreter? Cool. I think that's cool. Like, yeah, cool, awesome. I think that they won for accessibility. Yeah, sure. Can try to give Michael a little push, why not? Yeah, I mean, the more that we make games more accessible to more people, the better. So, all the ways in which we can do that, sweet. Yeah. I think it's great.
2 cars behind you, look at your damn relative.
So this race has flown by, and we are really getting down to it. We're going to have 7 laps to go when we get this restart. We do have green-white checkers in this series, I believe, so
Lean them up real good.
It's entirely possible, and I fully expect that we're going to use them, but we might not as well. Are there wheels out there? You know, I don't know. The real handy is the most prominent
Green flag.
sim racer that I know that is either disabled or differently abled.
Sorry, I didn't get into fourth gear there.
I don't even know if he still streams anymore, but
Hey, let's just get in line and pull away.
there are some tools, but I don't think that they're I don't think that they have a specific like hand control replication sim wheel yet. I think that any solution like that would have to be custom built at this point. the bottom. Shouldn't have done that.
Still there. Still there. Clear. Outside. Still outside. Clear, clear. Inside. At
Push
your
me
door.
then.
Still
Or
inside.
go all the way
Door.
down to the bottom.
In and out. Still there. One outside. In and out. Outside only. Clear high.
Well, that did not work for us. Now we need a caution. Didn't get on that start and wasn't able to push Michael the way that he wanted. We got freight trained. And now we're way back and we need a big wreck.
Still out there. Still there. Door outside.
At least we're not going to be in the big wreck if one happens. But the plan was not to be this far back at this stage in the race.
Still outside.
Rip.
At your door outside. Still outside.
We're going to try to get whatever we can here.
Too wide outside.
Whoa!
One outside.
What in the world was that?
Still there.
Spin it.
Still out there.
I'm be real, I don't know how I just missed Tyler there.
Too wide outside. One outside.
Good record, Chandler.
Still there.
I'm sorry about that, man.
Still there.
No, it wasn't you. It just kept getting looser
Clear.
and looser and looser every corner.
Quarter outside. Still outside. Still outside. Clear high.
It's, I mean, it's amazing that we wreck back here.
Stop saving it. Yeah, wreck it, wreck it. No, never to save it.
Guys, I'm up against the wall. I ain't got no steering.
2 to go.
2 laps to go. We need them to wreck on this lap so that we can get a green-white checker. Feel like I'm a bit of a sitting duck here. There's a big wreck. Put her out.
Inside, inside, inside. Slow ones in front of you. Stay high, stay high. Caution, caution, caution. How you doing in there, kid? It's open.
All right.
Close, close.
That
We're
was,
gonna
in
restart
fact,
behind the
exactly
15.
what we needed.
Green white checker here.
Didn't pick up nearly as many positions with that as I thought I would.
15. Pit road is open.
Oh, things are going to get very interesting here.
Mike, I guess when I got loose off a 2, it just got the tire thought getting you a 3 when I about freaking went there and wrecked.
Chandler Parsons' car is a little banged up. But it doesn't look like it's beat up on the front end, so he should be fine. He'll probably go get as much of that fixed as he can. So we're going to restart in 14th and hope that we do much better on this restart than we did on the last one.
Get the lucky dog.
Alright.
We got a lap car coming to your outside.
Benjamin Frisch getting a lap back. But that's not going to put him on the lead lap. It's going to be 4 laps back. We have 20 on the lead lap right now. Not really in a position to win this one currently, but if we can gain a bunch of spots and another caution comes out on the restart, then, you know, we might be in position. As long as we continue to have a clean car. Been a fun race. Excuse me. Alright, 1 to green. We're going to have 2 laps to settle this thing. Unless they wreck again, in which case we'll get another caution. Or we wreck again. I shouldn't say they. I could be part of it. I could be the cause of it. It's happened before. We are all in this together. So unless we wreck again, it will be over in 2 laps.
You'll be on 1 to go. Make sure you get yourself something to drink.
Alright, buckle up, folks. It's about to get very, very intense. Got a lot of talented sim racers on here with a lot of experience, and every single one of them is going to be about as hard-nosed as they can be on this restart here. So, gonna have a lot of highly skilled driving and a high chance for some issues. Is the next track on North Wilkesboro? I believe so. I thought North Wilkesboro was tonight, actually. That was what I had mentally prepared myself for, and then I log on and it's this. That shows you how much I've been paying attention to the schedule this week.
Coming to the green. Make sure you stay in line.
Tomorrow night, of course, we've got Monday Night Racing Road to Glory, and it's going to be in these cars at Michigan. This is going to be pretty fun.
Race starts off. Be ready. Be ready. Ready. Green flag.
I didn't have the best of restarts there, but it wasn't terrible.
All yours.
At least I didn't get 8 up.
Dang it, I did the same thing again, went into fourth and it said no.
Stick with the draft, stay with the low line. All right, we're going to get a finish here one way or the other.
White flag.
White flag in the air. They're wrecking. Got to keep my foot in it this time. No lift, no lift.
Still there. Get Still there. Clear low. One inside. Clear.
Sort of bulldozed my way through that. We're still going, which is more than can be said for a few folks there. Would have been nice if I could have actually picked my way through it and not gotten involved.
Chandler.
The guy behind us, Benjamin, is actually a lap car.
Andre, that was not what I wanted at
Another wreck.
Working the outside.
Gonna let Benjamin go by here.
In front of you on the high side. Clear, clear.
We're gonna work our way around this car and that one. And where are we gonna finish? 8th, it looks like.
I'm so sorry, Andre.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Checker this time.
Given how the race went, 8th isn't too bad. I guess, you know, would have liked to have been in contention for the win, but I can't complain about that. That'll be good points. And a solid iRating gain. That's going to put us over 5,300 iRating. Looks like we'll be at, what, 5,340? Might be the highest of my iRating's ever been. Which will be important if we try to make a Road to Pro run, or, you know, for Road to Pro next year. We want to be, you know, you got to have the iRating up high enough that you're in the splits that pay decent points. Hey, Caradwin, 100 bits, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Good run. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best race I've ever run, but I think we drove a pretty smart race and got a solid finish for it. Go back and do a chrome horn recap here. That was fun. Pretty much every wreck was in front of us in that one. And that's a part of why I'm not a fan of the riding back strategy, is it does put everything in your windshield. So yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can get a longer shot of this. Looks like Tyler Oneal there just caught the 26 and hooked him. A few others getting caught up behind it. I think that's Malik there in it. Yeah, Malik got involved. And I don't know why he just decided to quit here. He probably could have repaired that. Does he think that these work like the other cars, where it's not a full repair, and if you damage the right front, it's just over? It's possible. But yeah, he definitely could have repaired that. Let's see. Is this gonna be the... I think we're gonna have a wreck avoidance type of a screenshot for the cover here. This one might not be it. Let's see. That actually ain't too bad. Just get a screenshot of that one anyway. If I like a better one, we'll do a different one, but let's go to the next caution. This was Marcus going up and over. Oh! That was a vicious hit. Look at what happens right here. He just barely touches the apron. Right there. Left front just touches it. He has to chase it up the track to save it, and he's 3 wide. So chases it right up into that 26 car, gets hooked, T-boned, and up and over. Brutal hit. Boom, right into the safer barrier. Up on top of the wall. That's crazy. Look at the 12 saving it here. Where did that 12 ended up going on to finish? 10th place. Next caution. We're going to go all the way to lap 35 here. Oh, this is the one that Benjamin Frisch got involved in. But he wasn't the cause of it. This was Collin Bowden racing for the lead with the 20, or that's Tyler Garey right on his bumper, and just gets loose. He has to chase it, spins, and then there was the wreck behind. Only 2 cars involved in that. That was what impressed me through most of these, is how few vehicles some of these wrecks took out. Everyone did a real good job of dodging around them. Oh, we got to see this. This is the Garrett Manes save happened to happen right before one of the cautions. Look at this. Bowden's gotten back in the race. I think that's Bowden there. Gets him. Look at that. Brings it back up onto the track, keeps it on the apron, keeps it straight. That's just really impressive. Meanwhile, up front, I think they get to reckon again here. Oh, the 26 got loose, and then The 3, nope, the 3 didn't get into him. 26 got loose. The 29 gets loose, missing him. And then, yeah, the wreck happens behind him. Kyle Trudell, just in the process of trying to avoid the sliding cars, just kind of loses it on its own, up into the wall. Not a ton of damage, though. Everyone avoids. He would go on to finish 22nd, 6 laps down, so maybe there was more damage there than I thought, or maybe he ended up in a bigger wreck later on. Lap 56. Another caution. Pretty short after the restart, since that last one was lap 50. Car. Bryan Narducci, the guy who everyone was complaining about blinking, and you can see evidence of it right there. Gets loose. Gets loose. Tries to save it, blinks out, and then is up and over. And then blinks out, and is out of the race. Just Alt F forward. And then we ended up with a pretty good run again. Next caution wasn't until lap 72. It happened in turn 3 and 4 again. Oh, there we go. This one's Bumgarner. A little bit of tight squeeze, and maybe got into Collin a little bit there. Let's see if we can get a better angle on this. This was the one I think where Blake was complaining about driver behind him not lifting for the wreck. That driver would be, yeah, this was the one he was talking about, Jonathon not lifting. You can kind of see that here. From Blake's perspective, you know, there's a wreck going there. He's going to try to lift off, and then he just gets driven into. So I can understand his frustration there. It's frustrating as a driver when you feel like you do everything right, and then you still get wrecked. Lap 84. We are running 21st. And they get to wrecking up in front of us. As they are racing 4 wide. Little contact there. The 19 gets turned, the 12 gets turned. 19 is going to, that's Michael A. Guest. That's actually going to be the cause for this caution, I think, because he's the one that gets sideways on the track. So right there, that's the caution. But everyone does a good job of saving it. Next one, lap 93. This is the one that we really needed. Because we were back in no man's land here. And they get to reckon. Up in front of us. There we go, Kyle Trudell again. Looks like he just got hit. Turned into the wall and knocked the right front off. yeah, he's just sliding through there. Was able to miss, just avoid to the outside. And took a bit for that one to come out. And so that set up the green-white checkered, where we go to the final lap, and I'll be darned if all heck didn't just break loose on it. You know what, we're just going to go focus on Mr. Austin Hill here, who was he was the show today. There was a lot of that race that centered around him, and he was right up there in third. As they're coming to the white flag, he looks like hit in the back by Dylan Kehm, who was the driver that was, and look at all of them we've got multiple cars upside down. Austin ends up in the fence. That was a big old mess. But yeah, that right there, I believe that's Dylan Kehm. So this is Austin Hill here. Here's Blake McCandless. Yep, Dylan Kehm. These two don't like each other. Now, let's see what happens. Yep, Dylan turned him. And it didn't work out for him because he had a blowover in the corner too. I just kind of bulldozed my way through. I don't know that Dylan meant to do that or did that on purpose. But I'm just noticing the correlation between the things. And it didn't really work out for him either. I mean, they're fishtailing and stuff in front of him. He's got a good run. I think what he's trying to do is get to the inside of Austin here, and he just misjudges it a little bit. Austin gets turned into Blake McCandless. Blake comes back down and catches Dylan. And it's one of those wrecks that just cleans out a lot of them. We have 3 blowovers. Austin, Blake, Dylan all going over. There's a 4th one over, Michael, I guess. So we have 4 cars flipping in the same wreck here. That's a pretty big one. There's 3 and a 4th. Four blowovers. And just look at all that chaos. There's my poor little Corey Busch car stuck right in the middle of all of it. Now let's go back here and see from my cockpit, was there a better path to take? Right here, they're all down to the inside. I'm checking up, or I'm not checking up, I'm full throttle. Ran over William here, so, because he was checking up. And then, yeah, just in it. I mean, if I pick a better line, if I go to the inside of him, we're going to get, I think we were going to get collected in that one almost no matter what. The track was basically blocked. There were drivers behind me who picked a better line through. Let's see how the 22 does. Yep. He did pick a better line through and ended up finishing a few spots better than me. He finished all the way up in 4th. We did have another wreck. Okay, we're coming to the line. Let's see how Tyler ends up getting the win here. Blocks Michael there. David turns the 12. And he goes up around the outside and takes the win. David Brown 2nd. Michael Bumgarner 3rd. There's Guillermo finishing 4th. Chandler Parsons is going to come home 5th right here. Andrew Hennessy 6th. Got Tyler Garey in 7th. And then I was able to limper home in 8th place. Andre Castro was leading coming off of turn 4 and got turned by David Brown. Don't know if it was because he got a little squirrely, but that's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. Oh, Andy got brushed as cars were going by him there. Still comes home 10th. Almost won it. Crazy race. Take a look at the results here. And see, iRating should be at 5340 according to Caps. So sometimes that's off by 1 in either direction. Yep, 5340, gained 58 iRating. We got 246 points. That'll help out a lot in the championship standings. Tyler Oneal with 325. That's nice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate y'all. If you like the video, please do click that like button. Hit subscribe. Head over to twitch.tv/John_A_Theodore and click that heart to give me a follow. Thank you very much. Peace out, y'all.